Are some people just not meant to squat? Can this guy and this guy both do the same deep Asian squat? According to some experts, only short people with the right limb proportions are able to do a deep squat. But then this guy at 6'4" is able to do a deep squat. To find out why and how, let's go straight to the source.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Trevor, I'm 6'4", and I've got terrible proportions for squatting. Sounds like a confessional. I'm able to rest down here, but to be fair, maybe it'll never be as comfortable as someone who's perfectly proportioned for it. Short legs, long torso, incredible ankle mobility. It's basically the opposite of my build. I even have this vivid memory of when I was 12 years old, just hitting puberty. I was getting out of the shower, so I was naked, and I walked by a mirror. And what I saw, I'll never be able to unsee. It was Mike Wazowski, you know, the green guy from Monsters. All legs, no torso. And it's funny now, but at the time, it like really destroyed me. My proportions, they never really changed. I'm 6'4", but my legs are as long as a buddy of mine who's 6'8".
Which raises a question for me. At 6'8", where do you even buy clothes, let alone how do you do a deep squat? If you think his friend can do a deep squat at 6'8", drop a comment down below. And now let's take a closer look at the biomechanics here. He's 9 inches taller than me, but most of that is from his legs. And that matters for squatting because longer legs change the geometry. The longer your thighs and lower legs are compared to your torso, the more your torso has to lean forward for you to stay balanced. You may need more ankle mobility, a wider angle of your hips, or just a different stance from what I can achieve. In other words, this long-legged monster can't squat exactly the way I do, but that doesn't mean he can't squat at all. It may also surprise you to know that I have gained and lost the ability to do this multiple times in my life, so just being short and Asian doesn't guarantee you can do the Asian squat. Which brings us to a very important point for your training and for your life. You should be very careful about admitting defeat before you've even begun. Because here's the part that gym rats and biomechanics experts tend to forget. It would be really easy for a tall guy like Trevor to say, "Bah, I am too tall. I can't do squats deep. I'm not even gonna try." And that would change his life in the gym, but it would have much bigger consequences outside of the gym in a place that really matters.
I'm a new father. Am I supposed to believe that because I'm tall, I can't squat down to pick up my son? That tall dads are just supposed to stay 6 feet above their kids until they grow up? I mean, that's ridiculous. Regardless of your dimensions, humans are meant to be able to spend long periods of time low to the ground, kneeling, sitting, and yes, squatting. And if we were forced to do this our whole lives, like past generations, it wouldn't be a debate. As early as my 20s, I had already lost the ability. So in a sec, I'll take you through the simple steps I took to make the deep squat attainable.
And before we dive into that, let's take a quick look at Trevor's 6'8" friend and see if he can squat. And there you have it, a very clean squat for a very tall man. So whether you're 5'7" or 6'8", here are some tips to get you closer to the ground.
First, take the ankles out of the equation. They're often the slowest part to change. So when you're starting, don't let them hold you back. Put something stable underneath your heels. You can use a squat wedge, weight plates, a board, or anything else that won't slide. Then just squat down. For a lot of people, the difference is immediate. You feel more balanced, your chest stays higher, and your hips can drop much lower. So if now you can get deep, it likely just means that you've got stiff ankles. So the answer is simple. Use the heel lift so you can practice the deep position right now and work on your ankle mobility so you can gradually reduce the lift over time. You don't need to wait until your ankles are perfect before you start squatting. By the way, if this is you, link in the description for a whole video about improving ankle mobility. But maybe you elevate your heels and you still can't get very deep. No worries. Keep the lifts under your heels and simply grab onto something stable in front of you. Now, your only goal is to figure out how to get more comfy down here. Figure out if your body likes knees out or more forward, wide feet or narrow, toes out or straight ahead. You're looking for what feels more easeful, and everybody's unique body will like something different. And when you're here, stretch what needs to be stretched. For many people, it's the groin, so work on spreading the knees apart. Or maybe you need to learn to relax the knees towards the chest. This position is so nice because you don't have to fight to keep your balance. But also don't force it. Breathe and let your body adjust to the position. Then slowly try to lighten the hold on the object in front of you, or completely let go. This is where you'll notice a little bit of tension needs to be created. You'll feel your hip flexors, core, and the front of your shins kick on to stay upright. Your back might round, no problem. You're not loading it like a back squat. And it may not happen today, but it will with enough practice. Over time, reduce the heel lift. Regardless of what variation you're doing, just get down there a lot. Maybe it's in between other exercises or throughout the day. Always for short periods of time, anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute. And just focus on breathing and relaxing. You want your body to recognize this position as comfortable. Things like, I'm too tall, too heavy, too old, too stiff. Yeah, maybe those things affect where you start. And they'll change the route you have to take, but they don't control the outcome. In my case, if they did, I wouldn't be doing cool calisthenics movements or climbing vertical walls because I'm too tall, too long-limbed, and too heavy for all of them. And yet, they're the things that bring me the most joy and satisfaction in life. The hardest part is just getting started and trusting the process. There will be days that are frustrating, but I guarantee you, if you just set this in motion, at the end, you'll look back and say, wow, it really didn't take as much work as I thought, and boy, was it worth it.
No matter where you come from, no matter how tall you are, remember not to turn a little difficulty into an unchangeable identity. Your journey might take a few months, it might even take a few years, and that's okay. Remember that slow is safe and fast is foolish. Be patient with your body and it will pay off. Check out Trevor's YouTube channel. Go to uprighthealth.com to get free workouts to build resilience for real life. And if you haven't already, watch this video to build upper body strength that actually matters. And by the way, I can reach it if I just go up on my tippy toes a little bit.